all our stuff.
I got to turn the candle on.
Technically correct.
At home, that's what Julie does with a remote.
Oh,
She has electric candles and stuff.
Oh, maybe we should get some of those.
no, it's more.
Now this one burns down. It's like an hour.
Well, I didn't mean for him. I meant for just ambiance in here.
Oh yeah. And if you say something dumb, your candle turns off.
It's like the
Everybody has a candle.
it's like the X's on America's
Yep.
Got Talent.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome. You're listening to Passages. We thought we would have Tim with us tonight, but something came up. So, Jason, will you do the honors and light the candle for us as we
Now,
mourn
was
the
Tim
absence of Tim?
Tim
was
is
Tim
officially
planning to
lit.
return permanently, or was it like, I had a night off kind of thing?
I think it was going to be an easy night with work. It was kind
He's
of
going to come back tonight, and
work
then he was
a
going
little
to
mid, so he thought he
be
could make
gone
it.
again.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
It was more of a little tease than a.
And I was talking to him, and he said he had got the Princess Bride watch.
Oh, he did watch it.
Oh,
No, that's a total lie. He
Oh.
still hasn't
yeah.
watched
Okay.
it.
Oh, no.
I knew you were lying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Today, did everybody's kids go back to school?
Yep.
Yes, my son has trade school and English. That's it.
In football.
And football.
Hey, he's got pretty cool trade school.
He's
though.
got good trade school stuff going on. I don't know what this first semester. He can't do a co-op or an internship because of football.
Oh,
But second semester, I think he's going to try to land an internship again. We'll see. I think he has to go back through maybe a process.
is
I
he
don't know.
not just coming back
I'm not sure.
to the?
I don't know
old-
how that. I don't know how
old
that
crane
works.
shop?
I don't know if he has to apply again. I'm not really sure.
And along with Tim's son, Jonathan,
Yep.
he's starting his final year of high school.
Final year. Yep. I took a picture of him today holding his first day of school 2027. And then I actually got on social media and posted a picture today of his first day of K4 and his first day of his senior year side
I
by
saw
side.
that.
And wow, that time period went by really, really quickly.
That'll put a lump in your throat when
Yeah,
you see
it
the
really
side
will.
by side like that.
It's, to think that I guess that'd be 13 years. It seems like that was yesterday when he was proud of his little brand new shoes and his little backpack that was as big as he was. So
Jackson started his junior year this year. And so last night he asked for a special meal. He called it a last meal.
The last meal.
He said, as I am on death row, and he referred to school as prison.
please tell me it
So-
wasn't Subway.
No, he wanted
good.
steak
Oh, good choice.
So like a
And,
true last meal.
Yeah.
and bruschetta.
Oh.
So I was on my way home from work, headed for rest and recuperation from the day.
Nope.
I spoil him, so I went to the store and got the ingredients, and we made a nice meal for his
You know,
last request before he went to jail.
the funny thing about him calling school prison is how much it feels like it as a teenager in school. And then when you're up here with us in age, you're kind of like, man, I wish I could go back to high school.
Yes.
Just,
I've never thought that.
well,
I've never wanted to go back to high
I
school.
wish
I'll be
I
honest.
could go back to where I thought I was really stressed out, but really
yeah,
there was
that-
no stress.
That's really more what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
that's
Of you don't have the
Well, that's
bills, you live
college.
at home.
See, I go back to college any day.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
no
Yeah,
doubt.
I didn't have like
But-
a true college experience. So
Well, you are kind of imprisoned in high school. From 8 to 3,
Yeah.
they've got you.
Well, unless you're a
Not at
Pullum.
Leeds.
Unless you're a Pullum. And then you do the trade school route, and you seem to only have one class your whole senior year.
they didn't have things like trade school where we
No,
were in
that
high
wasn't an
school.
option
So I
where
mean,
I
it
was,
was truly 8 to 3
Yeah.
or whatever.
I'm
So-
not embarrassed to admit I just had to look up bruschetta just to make sure. We call it toast with junk on top. But, I mean, if you want to call it bruschetta, that's fine.
So
thank you.
We moved Kinley in to her
Ooh,
dorm
Talk about
her
big
apartment
steps. Yeah.
yesterday, and there were lots of tears.
As there should be.
Yeah. So
That's natural.
today, since I'm now officially an Auburn donor,
Yeah. I saw your Auburn shirt.
today I
Looking
thought,
good.
you can't see it on here, I thought I'd wear this shirt
Mhm.
that I got a long time ago. I didn't get this yesterday,
No.
but somebody gave me this last year or something, and I've never worn it because I don't usually wear logo things. I'm not a big
Or collars.
well, I wear collars every day to work,
I'm sorry.
just not
That's just
didn't mean
me.
to
I
Wednesday
offend.
nights.
feel like he's bashing on you a
You
little
know.
bit.
Well, I was thinking more in terms of for the show.
Yeah, I mean, look,
And-
this isn't a formal setting.
No.
Also, I didn't have time to go home and change, so you get work, Patrick, today. But I don't normally wear logos of any kind. Just I don't like advertising for people who don't pay me to advertise for them. Really, is the
Now
is
you're
my
paying
thing.
them to advertise.
Right? I'm not
for
paying
it.
them so that I can advertise for them. But so today, after we dropped Belle off at school, first day of middle school for her, I took the Tahoe to a body shop because I got rear-ended a couple weeks ago. So it's time to get it repaired. And then Enterprise picked me up and I went to Enterprise. So I didn't get to work till 9:15 or so this morning. And just because I had this shirt on 3 times before I reached the office, I had the question in some form of, well, how do you think we're going to do this year? And as you all that know me, I truly have no idea.
You should have said, well, the Republican Party looks a little weak.
I
Just say
Yeah.
War Eagle.
Well,
That'll satisfy
that's
him.
what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Because I can respond to that. That's easy.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, my true answer of I have no idea was the exact right answer for this particular start of the of this
Yes.
season, new coach and all. And I got some tips from a couple diehards at work on things I can say. Luckily, though, when I said I have no idea, that prompted them to go, "Oh, you're so right." And then they kept talking and talking, and I didn't have to fill the time.
Yeah.
So it
Oh,
was
yeah.
kind of nice.
I
go
think you
with
can always say, I hope better than next season or
Yeah,
last
last
season.
season, yeah.
I always go with what's up with the NCAA, or now what's up with NIL,
Yeah.
and then just let them take over, and you aren't exposed as a yay sports guy.
You
Right.
could always ask, do we still play football there?
Yeah.
That would go over well.
I thought if we were talking about UAB,
Yeah.
I thought that went away.
Yeah. Didn't they cancel that program? Didn't they kill the Birmingham Stallions? Isn't that football thing done? Did I see that?
Yeah,
in the
moving
news?
out of Birmingham. They said I believe their excuse was we couldn't fill the stadium.
Hmm.
Well, it's true, but it's a big stadium.
Well, and
I think 40,000 people are going to come out for a.
yeah, their answer was on TV. Basically, it doesn't give the like the environment doesn't.
Well, it's
You know.
minor league football.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of people criticize Birmingham for building a stadium that big for this very reason, that we wouldn't be able to fill it.
It's great for concerts, though. Good concert venue.
Yeah.
At the stadium.
Mhm. Yeah, they've had concerts there.
But will they do it now that we have
Probably.
the new amphitheater?
Probably not.
I mean, how many concerts can we have?
Who knows?
We got a lot of.
As many as we
venues.
want.
As many as there are performers in the world.
Okay. Speaking of,
Speaking of performances,
yeah,
was it last week we played the
Martha Reeves.
the horrible? Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could have been here for that.
Well,
Oh, it was the
I
worst.
enjoyed watching it.
It was
A-
awful.
As
Poor
our
woman.
passengers know, we enjoy a good patriotic Star Spangled Banner. And last week we brought you
The worst.
maybe the worst one second worst I've ever heard.
it was
maybe
awful.
it was not great.
It's the worst serious where
Yeah.
a
Yes.
person's being serious
Yeah.
about
like
it.
I'm actually attempting this, and it just
I
didn't.
think
go
she thought that she nailed it too.
So
well. Mhm.
She's like, I'm Martha Reeves.
yeah, she definitely
mean,
thought
that's-
she nailed it. Definitely thought.
She
So-
kept looking at the two ladies singing with her, like, "Will y'all get your act together?
Yeah,
Well,
Y'all are
they-
not helping me."
they're
at all."
they
they're
weren't
sharing a
helping her.
microphone.
Yeah.
So this week I thought maybe we could have a little redemption. And you guys know about the Savannah Bananas. They're the
Yeah.
sort of I guess, Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. They do all sorts of tricks, and I hear it's actually
They play a real game.
they play a real game, but it's
Weird rules.
It's some additional rules so that it's very time boxed. It's not something that can drag on. It's a maybe an hour and a half, couple hours at maximum. And there's all these rules, like if it's a foul ball, but the fan catches it, or the fan gets it back onto the field, then it's still in play. You know, they have some stuff like that keeps it lively.
Yeah. It's entertainment baseball.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what it is.
Yeah.
It's an entertainment.
And they do a lot of musical numbers in between innings and things like that. The players are also performers. And they do some pretty cool, like, mashup songs and things like that. So anyway, at a recent game, a musical artist named Julie Falcon, that's kind of a cool name.
Yeah, probably not her real name.
Probably not, but she sang the national anthem before this Savannah Bananas game, and I think she nailed it. I'll see what you guys think. Here we go. As soon as I learn how to.
By the dawn's early light.
Is this at Wrigley?
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's
No music.
last gleaming,
That's just raw talent.
whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous
That's Wrigley. That's cool.
fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallant.
Got goosebumps. Just so good.
And the rockets regulate, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
It's probably my favorite part.
Oh, say does that star-spangled
Total confidence.
Yeah.
No
Unwavering.
fear.
wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Now that is how that song is meant to be sung.
That is how that is meant to
That
be
is
sung.
a very good rendition.
Why couldn't the is it the WMLB?
I think that's what they're calling it.
WMLB? Why
Women-
couldn't
yeah.
they get somebody who could sing?
Well,
They
also,
did. Number 152 on Rolling Stone's top 200
who could
singers
still sing.
but also,
in history.
why didn't they practice?
Like,
If anybody had
through-
heard that
because
before,
if
Hey,
you
I'll
had
tell
heard
you
Martha
why.
Hicks say, you can't. No, we're not.
She
we're
said,
not doing
"I'm
this.
Martha Reeves. You tell me when to be there, and I'll sing."
I want the air at 71 degrees. I want
Like Miles Finch.
Yeah, green M&Ms.
and 4
71
bottles
degrees.
of Fiji water.
Yes. 71 degrees.
Not
No more.
72, not 70,
71.
71.
That is a really good. That I would rank that at one of the best
Yeah.
performances of it
That
I've heard.
That could possibly be in my top 3.
Yeah.
That was really
That
really
one will be
awesome.
picked up and replayed at football stadiums, high school football stadiums across the U.S. this year.
Yeah.
Because they
Nice.
always are pirating them. The worst was when I was in high school, our coach liked the Whitney Houston version,
Of course.
and you'd be standing around for 17 minutes for her to get done singing it,
Yeah.
and you'd have warmed up.
right.
They
you have
do
to
the
warm up
national
again.
anthem, and then you're like, "Well, I'm toast. I'm stiff now. I can't get out there and play." That was
Oh.
really good.
Well, let's continue on the baseball theme, shall we? So the Phillies recently had an auction for I'm assuming it was a charity auction, but a guy paid $22,000 or bid $22,000 and won the chance to call one inning of a Phillies game. And this was a bucket list item for him. to call a major league game that he just had to pay $22,000 for. And for a guy who is not a professional, I guess, game caller, game announcer, he did pretty good. So we'll play a little clip of this, and then I have what I think is a pretty interesting stat of why this was such a hard thing for him to get to do. So here's the
We are headed to
clip.
the third inning. Phillies on top 2-1, and we're pleased to welcome Lewis Kalb from Medford Lakes, New Jersey. He is our Phillies fantastic auction winner. He outbid the competition to spend an inning and do some play-by-play in the booth. And Lewis, welcome. Glad to have you here.
Thank you, Scott. It's a
He's got
thrill to
the
be
voice.
here. It's a lifelong dream to be in the Phillies broadcast booth. So here we go. Painter with the first pitch to Ortiz. It's in there for strike one call. Phil's with 2 in the bottom of the second.
got a little
to take
nasal
the
in there.
lead.
He sounds perfect.
He's perfect.
As we start the top of the third, now Painter delivers. It's bounced foul.
A little higher pitch, he'd have the
Towards the
skip
Phillies
carry going.
dugout.
Yeah.
And they count 1-1.
He doesn't really talk like that,
Phillies
does he?
winning the
I don't know.
Do you
I've-
think if he
That's-
pulls up to a
that's- that was-
drive-through window, he's like, I would like to have the Baconator.
The Baconator,
so here
medium rare.
I would like to have a large Coke and fries.
For $2.50.
Here's the interesting thing. It is statistically harder to be the announcer than it is to be a major league baseball player.
Yeah, I was skimming the article
Yeah.
while you were talking.
And-
That's
and-
pretty cool.
And kind of here's
That
the,
makes sense, though.
yeah, here's the stats on that. There's 30 MLB teams. Each carries 2 to 3 play-by-play voices on radio. So let's call that at best 90 spots, right? In all of MLB, this says there's 780 active roster spots for players, and it turns over constantly. But what happens is people get into these announcer positions and they stay forever.
Yeah.
This
Literally.
Sometimes
Yeah.
past
this
their
guy
due date.
this guy mentions one named Vin Scully. He announced for 67 years.
Whoa.
Another guy for over 50.
Bob Euchre, man, he was
Yeah.
just a bit outside.
Yep.
That's from Major League.
I know, but that's Bob Euchre
that
that's
was
doing
Bob
the
Uecker.
call.
So I thought that was kind of
That's what made him famous. Not
kind of
really.
something that I never thought of.
It's interesting.
Of these guys who call. I mean, think about it even in
much
football.
fewer little boys grow up wanting to be a sports announcer
Perhaps, yeah.
than a Major League Baseball.
That's a good point.
But the announcing thing is a pretty competitive thing because, with Sam working for a rodeo company, we get to see some of the behind the scenes workings of the rodeos. And like when we go to the national finals every year, they have an exhibition event where they have a competition behind announcers and they get to come out and show off their announcing skills. And it's almost an advertisement for the next year. But there is an announcer of the year that is awarded at the end of the year, and there's a cash prize that goes along with that. And it is it's something you don't think about, but every sporting event, even the NASCAR, which I guess is a sporting event, but all of these things have announcers.
Yeah.
But it is a unique. I never once grew up thinking, man, I want to be an announcer. It may be because I sound like Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
That's probably
Yeah.
part of it. If I had a voice like John McMath, I'd be
Yeah,
calling.
you'd
again
have a
someone.
shot.
Yeah,
You'd have a
You'd
shot.
also have to be able to talk fast enough, though.
Yeah, that would give me.
That-
I can't talk fast.
I've been
I
told
don't
talk
talk
fast.
good.
I don't talk correctly, but
Oh.
I do talk fast.
The one I always think of is Eli Gold. He announced for Alabama for as long as I can remember, all
And
the way up
NASCAR.
until I guess recently when Saban left. But
See, that's why there are not many spots for these jobs because they do double duty.
yeah,
He did NASCAR.
That was an interesting bucket list thing. People have their bucket lists, and it's always, I want to see the Great Wall of China. I want to see Grand Canyon. That's unique. Do
Yeah.
you guys have any bucket list items that are a little unusual that wouldn't be on anybody else's bucket list?
I still want to skydive, but I don't think it's
But
going to
that's a
ever happen.
common bucket list. Bungee jumping is one that's.
I checked one off a few years ago to officiate a wedding. And I did that.
That's an odd one.
Yeah.
I don't really.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not that exciting of a person, really.
I want, before I die, I want to befriend a crow.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Bring it a token, and
Yeah, I want to build a relationship with a crow.
Well, you come to my house and you have your selection of crows. We have them everywhere.
There's stuff I've been seeing stuff on the internet, like the things you can set out for them, and they like shiny stuff.
Yeah.
Put a little shiny thing.
Hey, there is a guy in like I don't know in like a New York City who befriended a crow and trained it to find money.
Yeah.
And so it brings dollars and bills and coins to him, and he gives whatever the reward
I hear
is.
crazy stories like that all the time. They have their ways of saying thank you if you feed them. And with this guy was bringing money.
There is a crow, and I'm sure it's not the same one because we have crows all over our property, which are good. They keep hawks away. If you didn't know that, they hawks and crows don't haw. But when I cut grass, there is a crow that follows behind me, hopping across the ground, catching locust and grasshoppers as they pop out of the grass.
You're shaking out the food for it.
And and I'll stop for a minute and he'll fly up into a tree. And as soon as I get the mower going again, he's right back down behind me.
One of the
10,
smartest
15 yards
animals.
behind me. They are.
I saw a video of one playing fetch with a dog. No kidding. It wouldn't get a stick.
And the crow was not the thing the
Drop-
dog was fetching.
No, it was a stick. The crow would pick up a stick and throw it out in the yard. And the dog would run and get
catch
it.
So the crow would like fly out, drop it, and come back.
Yeah, and it would go get another stick. I don't think
Yeah.
it played with the same stick. But crazy.
You want to do one more baseball story?
Yeah.
Yes. Now,
Last one, everyone.
And this
Last
one is this has gone viral over the last week. I saw it on Facebook. You saw it on Twitter. But doing research on it, I see where this happened in July of 2025. So it's an older clip. It doesn't take away from the feat of strength and athletic ability. So the Braves, the Bravos are playing the Yankees at Truist Park, and you just need to see this.
I'm not going to play the sound, but
so Acuna rolls out into the right field corner, catches a ball, turns, and fires what some would say a dart to third base.
I would say so.
To get the guy out that had tagged from second.
Unbelievable.
With no bounce.
No step. He didn't even hardly take a step. He just spun and threw. And so just asking Gemini how far that was, it was estimated at about 301 feet that he threw the ball. So that's a football field.
Unbelievable.
It
reminds
in
me
Little
of
League,
Barton.
the third baseman would have missed it.
Totally. It reminds me of Barton playing in the outfield for us for the Blue Jean crew back in the day. I remember him camping out under a fly ball and throwing it in really hard and his shoulder dislocating.
His shoulder would go almost as far as the ball.
And he would come off the field very green and just sit in the dugout.
One of these days, he's got to get that shoulder fixed.
I need a trash can. They can puke.
Oh, man.
Well, Drew, you were talking earlier about wanting to go back to college times. Did you ever do anything crazy in your dorms, in your dorm rooms with perhaps your fellow dorm mates?
Mm-hmm. I don't want to talk about it.
Nothing we can talk about here. Well, was anything as crazy as butchering a black bear in your dorm room kitchen?
I can't top that one. No.
Do you know? Have y'all ever heard the phrase something like when they make a rule about you, you've really kind of made it. You've arrived.
Yeah.
Well, Cornell University, a friend of the show, statistics.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. We've used them for
several
statistics. Yeah,
statistical things.
Friend of the show.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor yet.
Not a sponsor, but a friend. Cornell University had to create a rule that you can't butcher bears in your dorm rooms.
There's so many questions.
Go without saying, but
where did
the
bear come from?
That's a good question.
Okay, it says down there, third paragraph.
Upstate New York, maybe?
Yeah. This was from 2025. two students drug a bear carcass that they had killed into their dorm room.
Which bears are pretty big and dorm rooms are not. So
Yeah.
I'm already impressed with the ability to get that in there.
Yeah, so I guess they were hunting and they killed the bear. They about 2 hours away, and then they brought it back to their dorm room. The quote from the article that I like is Chin, the guy who was one of the guys who did this, also said that before bringing the bear meat on campus, he and his partner ensured they weren't breaking any campus rules.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
But now
Looked
they
over the handbook first.
Now
Yeah.
they're going to fix that. And
Can you imagine scanning like the student handbook for
Let's see, bears.
bears?
It says no armadillos, but it doesn't say
can you imagine
bears.
sitting in the lobby of your dorm and these dudes are dragging a bear in up to the kitchen, to their dorm room kitchen?
Oh,
I mean, that
man.
had to have been the
a
greatest
minute.
day of college for
What kind of
a
dorm
lot
room
of
has
guys.
a kitchen in it?
Cornell.
Well, I mean, okay, maybe this is more like an
lived-
apartment.
Okay, I was going to say, I lived in a really nice, big, high-rise dorm, no kitchens.
Yeah,
I didn't even think we were allowed to have a toaster oven.
No,
because they wanted you to go to the food hall.
Yeah.
Well, they were afraid we'd burn the place down, I'm
Yeah.
afraid.
My first dorm room had a sink and community showers down the hall.
Yeah.
That's the way mine was. You had to do the walk of shame.
Mm.
I would just take my contacts out. You couldn't see what was going on.
I showered at like 4 a.m. and went back to bed.
That's where I learned to be the Flash in the bathroom and changing. I could get in and out of the shower in under 30 seconds and
I've
totally
seen it.
clean. Yeah,
It's-
Man.
you
it's
saw it at the
amazing.
YMCA. Yeah,
Well, I saw a blur.
you saw me take.
I
you
just saw
You saw me
air
move
movement.
quickly. That's what you saw.
I didn't see
Yeah. You didn't see it.
shapes or anything. Just so bears.
Which
So they slaughtered the bear.
bear is
In-
best? Yeah, and then apparently after all this went down, the health inspector shows up and says nobody committed any code violations. This story, just the more I keep reading, just gets better and better.
So
Just-
the health inspector was fine with it.
I guess.
But the university, it sounds like, was not.
well, a year later.
yeah.
So they didn't know about it probably, and then
Oh.
decided, well, hold on a minute. You don't need to be bringing,
Yeah.
500-pound animals in here
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, who
to-
had the freezer space for
I
this
don't
meat?
know.
So, have y'all ever been at the grocery store and been so angry at someone that you wanted to start a fight with them?
I've been plenty of
yeah.
places I wanted to start a fight with people.
Oh yeah.
So, it's amazing that this story comes out of Florida. It seems Florida has a lot of stories like this, but
Well, it's hot down there.
two Florida men got into a bit of a kerfuffle
Kerfuffle.
out in the parking lot, one wielding a hatchet and the other a machete, in which they decided, and it's shocking when you see their images that these men would be fighting with a machete and
Put that. Yeah.
yeah.
People need to see that.
But that's number one. I look at their pictures and they're obviously not good at fighting with a hatchet and a machete because
correct.
I see no injuries.
Yeah.
Well, there's a mark. The guy on the right has a mark next to his eye there.
The other guy looks like he just rolled out of bed, but I'm telling you, if I'm fighting you with a machete and a hatchet,
What?
you're
was
going.
this some surveillance footage?
Let's see if it is.
Where are we? Where are
Hey,
we
why
supposed to
is that
look
on
here?
there?
I'm looking.
Are they in the parking lot for this fight?
Yes.
This is gonna be embarrassing if this wasn't even the right.
Well,
footage.
why would they put it on the story if it
Oh no!
Oh, come on. Where are they?
What
is
is?
just somebody strolling out?
Oh,
Oh,
that looked like somebody's getting.
we're about to get run over.
Oh, all right.
Man.
They cut
that's
out the
just
best
bad.
part.
But I
Is
just,
it Publix?
Yeah.
I just can't. Well, Rascal
That-
Flat's getting some free advertising there.
That's a
they're excited.
scrawny little machete
Yeah.
swinger.
I just can't imagine. And I've seen some crazy things at the grocery stores around here, so I wouldn't be shocked. But if you walk outside to your car, during our lesson in the auditorium tonight, the question was asked, talking about your character traits, what do you do with the buggy? after you put your groceries up. You know, are you the type person that takes it and puts it where it goes? Do you leave it in the space? It's kind of a test of your character and your integrity. This is also a bit of a test of your character and integrity. I can't imagine walking out to seeing a hatchet and a machete being used against each other in Mortal Kombat.
Here's a kicker. One of the guys, who I think the guy with the hatchet, in 2011 was convicted of aggravated battery in the killing of a 16-year-old boy near Panama City. In that incident, he used a chain wrapped around his hand to fracture the skull of the teen.
What is he doing walking around?
Well, in 2012, he was sentenced to 15 years in prison and was recently released in June of 2024.
I'm reformed.
Yeah.
No.
How do you only get 15 years from beating a kid to death?
I wouldn't know.
I don't understand our justice system.
That's kind of, yeah.
Do y'all remember when our youth minister at the time, Hunter Kinnemer, went to Party City to buy some balloons?
No.
And he comes out of Party City, this youth minister, and he's getting on the church bus with a bunch of balloons. And these two guys pull guns out on each other in the parking lot.
Oh, no.
And Hunter's just standing there with his balloons, watching these guys scream at each other with guns pointed at one another. Now, that's a study in contrasts.
Yes.
I'm glad that didn't happen in our friend Nathan's, conflict at the soccer field. I'm glad that he just, had his tail whipped by a much smaller man.
The way Nathan tells it, he could have stopped the bullet with his bare hand.
He can tell it however he wants. The video does not lie.
As confirmed,
and he chose not to be here to defend himself tonight.
Little David took down Goliath.
As confirmed by the Respectometer offices.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to talk to you guys because you've raised toddlers. You've been there about this story. And I think it's important to point out this occurred in Canada. Porter Airlines flight in Canada canceled after child refuses to sit down and buckle up. Porter Airlines flight in Canada was canceled after a young child refused to sit down and buckle up, forcing the plane back to the terminal and delaying it past the airport's runway closure. I like this sentence. The Toronto-based airline said Sunday the parent and crew repeatedly tried unsuccessfully to secure the child in the seat before returning the plane to the terminal. Apparently, this was a toddler.
How do you
and
try
they repeatedly
and fail?
tried?
Well, you do or do not.
There is no try.
There is no try.
How can you be overcome physically by a toddler?
I mean, is this a big toddler? I mean, is this Taylor as a toddler or is this Ava as a toddler?
You pick the biggest toddler out there.
I'm pretty sure I can take it.
A crew
I
and
think
parents together can strong arm this child.
And what we learned in the last story was if it's not working, you wrap a chain around your hand. Oh, wait, no, maybe
that's not what we learned.
Okay.
I think I have two words for you. Gentle parenting.
Yes, it is. Trying going, will you please, I just need you to sit down.
Yeah.
At some point, you go into the diaper bag and you pull out the wooden spoon.
Yeah.
And the problem is solved.
And also, look, on airplanes, if this toddler was under 2, would that still be a toddler potentially? Or would a toddler be over 2?
I think 2 to 3 is a toddler.
Okay,
maybe?
so this kid had to have a seat then. I mean, sit the kid down and strap him in.
Yeah.
And if he's screaming, he's screaming. We've all been on flights where kids are screaming. It's just part of the process.
Yeah.
You just deal with it. But in Canada, I don't think they parent the way we do down here in Alabama.
Sit down,
Eh?
Please be a good boy. Everybody on that plane missed their flight.
Yeah.
Every single person.
I would also like to point out that if this were in the U.S., I'm wondering if somebody didn't go to jail because you don't mess with flight crew instructions.
Yeah.
You will lose that battle 10 out of 10 times. Yeah. And they will pull you off that airplane aggressively if they need to, and then you will never fly again.
Yeah. Do you think at any point the Royal Mounted Police came riding up with their red coats on the horses to take over the situation? Here they come.
Dudley Do-Right riding backwards on his horse.
That's
infuriating.
Look,
I wasn't there, and I'm mad.
I had some times where trying to get my toddler into a high chair was like that.
But you
Somehow
got
or
him
another,
in.
he always ended up in the high chair.
Yep.
Now, everyone in the restaurant might hate us by the end of that, and maybe 2 or 3 of them have recorded us and maybe called the authorities, but the child ended up in the high chair.
I
When
got
you're in a battle with a toddler, you have to win if you're a parent.
And if you
have
don't,
to.
you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah. If you don't win, you're going to have a really tough time when they get to be teenagers and get bigger than you.
I got a funny story about this. Not discipline story, but funny toddler that you just can't win against. So when Belle was not maybe quite toddler age, so she was probably under 2. She cried a lot, and we figured out later. Really, she was just hungry, but they have no way to tell you that. She just screamed a lot. Just the doctors are all like, "Well, her stomach probably hurts or whatever." Turns out she was just hungry. Anyway, we were at one of my favorite restaurants, the Palace in Leeds. In Trustful.
Yeah.
And if you have never eaten at the Palace, it closed and then it reopened like a phoenix coming up out of the ashes.
Good
and
restaurant.
it is exactly the same as it was, just in a new location. And you should go to it. Their egg rolls take 3 days to make. They are like legit egg rolls, like handmade, hand rolled egg rolls. Anyway, so Amy and I go. We're just ragged because Belle is awake every hour or so, constantly eating. Just don't know how to get her to sleep, and we were not sleeping either. So we decided we were going to go get some egg rolls and some egg drop soup and some Mongolian beef. So we go to the Palace, and so Belle is just upset constantly. I'm getting up and taking her out because, I don't want to be that guy whose kid's just screaming in the restaurant. I'd get her calmed down. I'd bring her back in. I'd try to put her back in her seat and try to eat. We tried to hold her, just wasn't having it. And not old enough really like to understand discipline yet. For many reasons. At one point, one of the owners walks over, and we didn't know anybody there, even though we ate there a lot. But one of the lady owners walks over. Amy tells this a little differently. I'm going to tell you it from my perspective. Walks over and picks Belle up out of the high chair. Just picks her up and starts walking around the restaurant with her. And Amy swears she asked her, Can I help? Can I do something? I think from my point of view, she just picked Belle up and walked around with her for 25 minutes while we ate. It was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. And one of the reasons it's my favorite restaurant, besides the food. The food out of this world.
I like their food.
Anyway, that's my kind of bad toddler story.
That's pretty cool. Can we get just a little political for a moment?
Absolutely.
Just a little. WNBA. What a mess right now. What a mess.
Their optics are not very good. They can't make a decision.
They started out, I guess maybe Sophie Cunningham started this with a very, I think, fair statement about.
Let me do the point.
Yeah. A very fair statement about biological men playing in women's sports. She said they shouldn't. She said all the things, about I have no problem with transgender people, and she's very fair about things, but she doesn't think men should be in women's sports.
Which is not. It seems like that should be.
That's not a real.
And there was
a strong conclusion.
That shouldn't be controversial.
Yeah.
That seems common sense.
Yeah.
But there was this huge backlash about it.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's back and forth, right? And so now there are a number of retired NBA players who are claiming they're women just to test the WNBA out, because right now the rules say if you identify as a woman, you can play in the WNBA. And they don't define what a woman is. So 2 guys are testing this out. Is it Inez Cantor Freedom? Is that how you say his name?
I would say Enos, but I don't know.
I'm more comfortable with Inez.
That was my great grandmother's name, Inez.
Inez.
I even looked this up how to say it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Inez Cantor Freedom and Royce White. These 2 guys just say, I'm transgender, identify as a woman, and I'd like to play in the NBA, the WNBA. Now, I wonder how far this can really go. It's mostly for publicity. I think we all know that. We also know they're not going to get on the court with women. It's not going to happen because you have to have more than just a gender to qualify for a team. There's a subjective process, right, for who can be on the team or not. And they don't have to let you in because you have the right stats, or you can put up points, or you can block. You can do all the things well and be the gender you're supposed to be, and they could still say, no, thank you, without giving a reason. I believe that's true.
I would think so.
So this is kind of a non-starter, but it has drawn a lot of publicity as people imagine, well, what would it be like if this guy's, I think Royce White is 6'10". One of these guys is 6'10", the other's like 6'8". And they both put up a lot of numbers in their NBA careers. Now, White is kind of a strange dude. He's got some demons in his closet. He's also running for Senate. And there was something else that was a little off about him.
Well, it says in the article he doesn't fly because of a fear of flying, and he parted ways with Houston due to mental health issues, and then played 3 games for the Sacramento Kings.
Right. That's what it is. He stopped playing NBA because he's afraid to fly.
Yeah.
That's all they need. They'd be like, we're not saying you're not a woman, but if you can't ride on airplanes,
I'm still waiting on him to take up
can't
the
play in the
offer
WNBA.
to play a high school team for however many millions of dollars it was, 10 million, I think.
Now that has more chance of happening because of the money involved.
Yeah.
$10 million. The high school teams are going to show up for it.
Do you think it's...
That's a lot of money.
I wonder. So I would have never thought at our age we would be sitting around discussing people who are born a man playing in female sports. It's a little scary to think about what is the generations behind us going to be sitting around and talking about in another 40 years. Like,
I know, because we got here so fast. 5 years ago, I wouldn't have believed these stories.
No, but it's
5 years.
But I mean, there's talk in politics about it. There's talk in sports about it. There's talk in the NCAA about it. It's like this huge, and maybe it's just because it's getting the media attention, but it's like this huge, overwhelming topic right now. And it seems to fly completely in the face of just plain old common sense.
Yeah.
But
I started to say science, but it's just, it's not even that deep. It's common sense.
It's like, so our children are in their late teens, early 20s. When they're almost 50, almost 50, what are they going to be trying to parse out? I mean,
well, do you believe in the pendulum swing? I mean, that may be wishful thinking, but the pendulum has gone about as far as it can go in this direction.
Has it though? I don't know.
I don't know. Where else can we go?
It just keeps going though. It doesn't seem that it's coming back.
Tell me something more extreme than what we're dealing with already.
So
I'm sure it would take an imagination, but I'm sure there's something out there. But
so I looked up the eligibility requirements to play in the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
If you are an international player, you've got to be at least 20 years old. If you're a U.S. player, you got to be at least 22. Not sure why there's a difference there.
That's a weird rule.
It is. So, in summary, requires players to be at least 22, unless you're an international player, to have completed their college eligibility or
3 years.
or give it up. And then you have to have graduated from a 4-year college or be 4 years removed from high school. And there's no granular language about gender.
Wow.
Because it's common sense. Women's
other than the name
NBA.
What's
the W?
Yeah, what's the W stand for?
Well, nobody can define
We don't
what
know.
a woman is.
Right.
We've got a Supreme Court justice who cannot tell you what a woman is.
No, that she can tell you. She just refuses to be
won't.
honest. She just refuses to have integrity.
She's pretty stupid.
She may just not know.
But we knew that before she was appointed.
And they still appoint
We
her.
let her in.
Yeah.
Now she's got a lifetime appointment.
All right.
Let's go to
guys.
something happier.
I saw this pop up this week in the news. The 8th. That was earlier this week. That was over the weekend. And it's got this picture of Mama Ivy, our governor, holding up her hands in exclamation. And there's a picture of a Sister Schubert sausage wrap roll bundle. Now, I don't think the picture goes with that, but Sister Schubert sausage wrap rolls, which have been baked in Laverne, Alabama since 1994, are making a resurrection, if you will, in the market. About 3 years ago, I went to the store to get, this was our Sunday morning meal from the time the boys were little. I mean, old enough to eat real food until they went off the market. Every Sunday morning, we started with one pan. As the boys got bigger, we would have 2 pans of the Sister Schubert sausage wrap rolls. It's basically a croissant roll with the little sausage in the center of it. It's a pig in a blanket.
Mm-hmm.
Greatest food ever made. Not healthy at all, but who cares about healthy when you can be happy? That's probably not a good slogan. But anyway, it disappeared and it's been gone for a long time. It's now coming back. In an announcement at the Business Council of Alabama's Government Affairs Conference at the Grand Hotel, which sounds like it's a lot in
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean,
like
it is a
blast.
It's a
happening
blast.
it's like a
place.
trip to the circus.
It was even in a panel that was moderated by Paul Feinbaum.
Again, very exciting.
It came up that the Sister Schubert rolls are coming back. And I cannot wait because I can go now. We go now and we buy the Sister Schubert rolls and the sausages separately, and we make our own.
Oh,
But they
found
don't.
a
They don't
way
taste the
around it.
same. They don't taste the same.
now how did Kay Ivey come up? Paul Feinbaum is moderating this,
Yeah,
and she is there. Is she on the panel?
somewhere
Did she
down
call in?
the-
I didn't understand how she got injected into this.
It looks like there were audience questions on the ballroom screen,
Mhm.
and someone put their name in as K.I. from Camden.
which was where she's from,
Yeah.
Camden, Alabama. How quickly can we get these back on the shelves? And the executive,
That was the question that Kay Ivey supposedly
Yeah.
submitted.
Yeah.
and the executive confirmed the rolls are returning, and had samples passed around the room.
And it turns out it really was her.
I don't know.
Nothing in here just refutes that it was her.
I mean,
But
they
it-
really lead with that, with her picture
Yeah.
at the top of the article.
In 2021, if you scroll down to the bottom, it tells you that they were replaced with what they called the sausage pinwheel.
Sounds awful.
Garbage. They were
Have you tried them?
garbage. Yes, we tried them because we thought we needed to replace them with something. We tried once and then never ate them again. They
What is
were
a sausage pinwheel? Is that like
It looked like a cinnamon roll, but with little pieces of sausage cooked into the roll. And it was all
that doesn't
full.
sound good.
It was just stupid. And I'm glad to see an Alabama company, Sister Schubert, bringing back what is a traditional breakfast food for the Pulliam family. And
Have
I
y'all-
will be upsizing my pant sizes as soon as they come back out.
Have y'all heard that Chick-fil-A is going to do chicken and waffles?
No, I haven't heard that.
I am
Doesn't sound like
not,
a good idea.
I don't believe that I'm even cautiously optimistic about those.
But think
just
about,
don't know.
let me just say a word
Yep.
related to another fast food restaurant, the McGriddle.
Now, if they do,
McGriddle is one of the greatest inventions in American history.
Would it be shocking?
I don't like the McGriddle though.
Would it be shocking for me to say that I've never had a McGriddle?
It's a little shocking.
I've
never had
had
one.
I've had one. I don't like them. Not a big fan
Now,
of
the McGriddle, the bread is pancakes with syrup
And it's
Somehow
and it's
they-
sausage in the middle, right?
or whatever you want.
Okay.
Well, it's all those
Bacon, egg, and cheese, sausage, egg, and cheese.
It's all those chemicals they put in it that let the syrup stay
Locks
in
it
the bread.
in.
Yeah.
Oh, it stays fresh for thousands of years.
You know,
So
I
if
could,
the McDonald's could pull off the McGriddle, pancake for bread,
I could
can
see the
Chick-fil-A
waffle,
not make a sandwich?
the waffle chicken sandwich for breakfast. Now, I would give that a shot.
I'm
I think
gonna
that's what it is.
I'm gonna give it a shot,
Mm-hmm.
but
Definitely
the
gonna try it.
picture is not. I guess I can pull one up. The picture is not super appetizing to me because it also has bacon on it, and
Oh.
and I don't think that Chick-fil-A's bacon is good.
No, I agree.
No, and bacon and chicken. I mean, I've had those.
When you mix
where
in
you
the
bake
pig and the chicken, it just doesn't seem good.
I've
Let me
had
pull this
chicken
up.
Well, I
with
don't know.
bacon wrapped
Chicken
around
bacon
it.
ranch is pretty good.
Yeah. So here's the.
That looks pretty good, but I agree about the bacon. I'm not so sure about that.
and
but-
here's the other thing. So Chick-fil-A's chicken is good. I think
It's
we can
good.
all agree with
I
that.
would agree.
If they don't nail this waffle though, the whole thing is terrible.
Yeah,
yeah, it can't be super dry.
Yeah. And I'm going to guess, I'm just going to take a wild guess and say they're not making these waffles in the store fresh.
Oh no, they're coming.
No.
They're coming pre-made.
They're frozen and they're being warmed up. So
If anything, they're dropped in a fryer for a few seconds.
you think in the fryer?
I don't know. I mean, if they're
The
frozen,
waffle?
how else are you going to
An oven?
toaster oven? Maybe
Yeah.
some kind of a toaster.
I
If they
just
put it
don't-
on that thing that has the that puts the butter on their sandwich
Yeah.
buns. Oh, that thing.
I'm not saying I won't try it.
It's worth a try.
I'm not sure.
Not
Yeah.
either.
Oh,
I will tell you what I will try from there again and again, again. Peach milkshake. Pretty good.
any milkshake is fine with me. What do you want to do next?
Did y'all see the article? I heard about this on a podcast I listened to. This this guy in New Jersey was doing a little tree work and had a piece of the tree branch impale him in the face. I don't know if you can imagine it. So
Man,
the branch went up through his jaw and up in through his nasal cavity. It appears kind of near the orbit where the eye sits and into to the bottom of the kind of the base of the brain. And I don't know.
it got into the brain,
The images
see
of
it.
it are unreal.
and it's not just one stick. I mean,
No,
it looks like
it's
it branches,
branched. Yeah, it is the most horrific thing.
and it just almost took out both eyes. It went
Yeah.
under one and right above the other.
And what I heard about it and read some
Oh.
about it was that they went into surgery. I think he was in surgery for 4 or 5 hours. They got it out, put some stitches in, of course, put him on some antimicrobials. You know, you're going to fight for infection and fungus. And he went home and he survived, but literally had a tree limb jab him all the way up through. Now, the worst is spring when people are pruning their hedges. I get a lot of abrasions to the eye during pruning season where people are pruning stuff and either picking up branches or they lean over and they jab their eye with them. I see that a lot. The thought of having a tree branch sticking out of your
Ugh.
face is just horrendous.
That's
Look how much
terrible.
it fills up the sinus cavity Look at the
you think
sinus
this
cavity
guy's going to have a snoring problem after this?
Oh, man.
Talk
Just
about a
awful.
deviated septum.
Oh,
Man.
I just look there. Oh, this is,
Oh,
that's the picture of
oh, Patrick.
it. That is awful.
That
guys.
turned my stomach.
Yeah, we're not-
there's the surgery.
We're not showing this
No.
to.
No, we'd have
people.
to.
But I mean,
But
look,
he's
he's
barely
not
got a
even that
scratch on him.
bruised. I just can't. I cannot imagine that. And nice looking guy too. I mean,
Yeah, it didn't
Oh.
even mess his face up.
no.
Do we have a?
Ouch.
Do we have like an impalement epidemic going on? Because we also just talked about the guy that
We need a soundbite for this
stabbed
segment.
his
With the walking
with
stick,
the walking stick,
which I still think was staged.
Yeah, that's
could have
fake.
been. You think staged like fake or staged like he did it to himself?
I think it was like those arrows that you
Yeah.
could buy with the loop over the head.
It just went
Went in-
around his.
I think he made one for his rib cage.
It looked weird. I don't know, but I just I can't imagine that kind of injury. Like, and it sounds like both of them were just random kind of happenstance. So when you're working in your yard,
Hey, doing
thinking
tree
about this
work
kind
is
of
the
thing.
most dangerous thing that you can do.
it really is.
Most dangerous thing you can do. Well, listener Brad Cobb sent this picture in. Brad drives a UPS truck and he sees a lot of country. And he sends me pictures of things he saw. And this is one I had to share with the passengers. A tombstone. We don't know whose. I guess the name and dates are on the other side of this tombstone.
Maybe I've been trying to do some research on this. And I can find no details about it.
I know this.
No, this
It
is
has
the kind of stuff Brad can bring you because he's out in the woods. You know, he's searching the country for things.
This does have a tongue twister in it, though. Whoever put that on the top of the tombstone, that is
She sells seashells down by the.
By the
always
she stars.
always a visionary. She set sail in an endless sea of stars. If you try to say that multiple times really fast, you are all over
That
it.
is a tongue twister.
She set sail is hard to say.
But guys, that is a stainless steel
Yeah.
tombstone
What better way to say I love you?
with a butterfly, a Star Trek is
Insignia.
insignia.
And an antibody.
Yeah. What did we say
Jason
that was,
identified that.
Jason?
It was some type of an antibody vector diagram.
And maybe a DNA helix down in
Down
the
at
lower
the
bottom.
bottom, yeah.
I don't know why these things are spaced the way they are. It's kind of random. The butterfly
It really
huge.
needs something down in the bottom right corner because the
Right.
symmetry
That's
is
probably
really
driving
off, and
you
it's
crazy,
driving
Jason.
Me crazy. It needs something in the bottom right corner.
I would like to request that if Brad ever drives by this again,
He gets the other side.
get the other side if there's anything on it, because I'd like to look up who the visionary was here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
that's true. Because with this kind of symbolism, it's very possible that
yeah,
she has a
Not just
Wikipedia
symbolism,
page.
Yeah.
but that kind of money.
Right.
There was some money spent to get that.
This
thing
was somewhere in
custom made.
Arkansas.
I do also find it interesting that V in the V in visionary and the S and she are capitalized like they are proper nouns.
Well, she is the beginning of a new sentence.
Is that a comma though?
That's a comma after visionary.
Hold on, let's enhance.
Oh,
That's a comma.
It
Oops.
feels comma S compared to the period on the end, but it could be wrong.
No, I'm going
I'm
comma.
afraid, Patrick, that's just poor grammar.
It could be.
Forever. She may
I
have
don't
been a
understand
visionary,
why it's
but she
hard to
didn't know grammar.
understand. Capital letters at the beginning of sentences, not in the middle. Even if you really like the word, maybe italicize it. Maybe put it in bold. But don't capitalize
So
it,
it
please.
looks like the butterfly is inset
It
into
does.
it. Do you think that thing's got an LED so that it lights up the monarch at night?
Oh,
That would be so
good
cool.
question.
If you
That would
drove
be
by and there's a
cool.
glowing butterfly,
Yeah.
that would be
cool.
That
How
would
much-
be fire.
How much do you think that set the people back? That costs some
a
money.
lot.
That kind of customization, full color butterfly.
I mean, can you have a full funeral these days for less than 10 grand? I mean, I
You
can't
can,
imagine.
you
Not
can.
with a
and
burial.
Amy, listen to me. Bury me in the backyard. I don't need a funeral. I don't need a tombstone, a casket.
yeah, just bury,
Put me in the ground.
just burn
that's
me in
illegal, sir.
just burn me in the burn
take,
barrel.
Take me to Vermont where it's not illegal and
yeah,
bury me there.
put me in the burn
we'll
barrel.
take you at the Kaiser Cemetery.
Okay.
Dump me into Kelly Creek.
Nobody
Just
will
let me
ever
go
be able
downstream.
to find your
Yeah, but
grave.
but still would have to pay for it. Like I have like very strict instructions. You do the cheapest thing to dispose of my body when I'm dead. When I'm dead. Let me let me be clear.
That's that
be clear.
That goes without saying. Yeah, that is a. I guess. I mean, do you go to a machine shop and you say,
For
"This is
sure.
what I need you to make"?
yeah,
For
the
sure.
and they're cutting
Tombstone
that on a
guys
CNC.
don't do this kind of thing.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is. It looks like even the base of it was stainless. Ooh, this picture
This is my favorite story of the
This
night.
creeps me out.
Now, this was submitted by listener Joel Henry, sometimes a member of the show, I guess I could say.
Mm-hmm.
The director of the Respectometer Company Incorporation, trademarked. He sent this story about a high school football player in another story from Arkansas.
Got some weird stuff going over there in
went through
Arkansas.
a practice.
We're
with
talking
a
about practice. Sorry.
Practice, guys, with
Not
a
the game.
poisonous snake in his helmet.
Wait, hold on. I didn't actually read this.
No, I'm not misrepresenting the article.
He put the helmet on
The
with
snake was in the helmet
Oh no.
Yeah, you got
behind
your-
the padding. He put it on, not knowing it was in there. Practiced for an hour.
We're talking about practice.
And this is not
We're
just
talking
a
about
snake.
practice.
It's a cottonmouth.
Right.
Do you think
Which is a-
Second most poisonous snake in the
poison.
state of Arkansas.
do you
in
think there was
there.
just not enough room for the snake to like bite or whatever? Because
It could not have enjoyed itself.
yeah.
My
Dude.
guess is it got so
It's a
hot in there it
2 foot
went
long-
into comatose. Yeah.
2 foot long snake.
How did
That's
he
a
not
big
smell
snake.
it? Because cottonmouths stink.
That's
You
true.
can smell. Well, it's a
That's how
football
they warn
helmet.
you up.
Have you ever got a hold of your son's
Yep.
football
Yeah,
helmet
yeah.
and smelled it? They're all
Yeah.
hug your kid. Go.
It probably smelled
Look,
better because of the cottonmouth.
Sam is in for about 10 plays a game because he's the long snapper. After a game this season, go up, hug him, and just take a whiff of him. I know why the cottonmouth, they didn't smell him.
So I did see a video of this. They put the helmet in a bucket or something of water to get the snake to come out of the helmet, and then
'Cause
they grabbed it with one of those like
Mm-hmm.
picker upper grabber
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they called the police. The police was involved, and
You know what I would do if I was a police officer and they were
animal
like, "Hey, there's a
control.
snake." I'd be like, "That ain't my problem." What,
Yeah, I
what
thought
crime
it
did
was-
he commit?
It was crazy how many emergency personnel were out there at this football practice, and they were practicing.
You know the most traumatic thing of the whole experience? Go back up for a second, Patrick. After the snake was identified as a deadly cottonmouth, they took the animal to a wooded area far from the school.
Okay.
It did not say and beat it to death with a shovel or shot it. They let
Do
it
they
go.
not have a garden hoe laying around there?
That thing's coming back.
How about this quote? One of the officers noticed that it, due to being big and fat, may have recently eaten a couple of days before.
Those cottonmouths are fat. They're
Yeah,
usually
they're-
not very long, and they have a
And they're real
fat
yeah, they're
body.
stumpy, yeah.
I hate them.
Can you
I
imagine?
absolutely hate them. And they like water. So that was an interesting part. It's clear that the people who took care of this problem had no idea what they were doing.
Yeah.
No.
No idea. Of course, you didn't know it was didn't know what kind of snake it was until you got it out of the helmet.
Can you imagine the player who had that on all through practice, what went through his mind? And can you imagine the calls from the school lawyer talking about what happens in the case of a suit?
Where was this helmet being stored? Is the
if
question
they-
I have.
The
Usually
players
in
at
the
Leeds
locker
put it
room.
in their locker
Okay.
or up on top of their locker in their locker room. But yeah, that's ugh. That gives me the heebie-jeebies. All right, y'all heard about the big earthquake that happened in Japan. I don't remember exactly when it was, but it's been in the last month, I believe. There was a video that came out of this is in an OR, a surgical suite in a hospital, and they're working on a patient, and the camera in the OR picks up the moment the earthquake starts, and the equipment and everything is just shaking all over the room.
Kind of looks like they're on like a cruise ship.
Oh, it's just unreal.
Man.
They're inside of a building. So I've never been in an earthquake.
Me either.
I don't know what they feel like. I don't know what to expect when one happens. I do know that you go stand in the door. I learned that.
The
doorway, or you get under your desk at school. I remember doing
You
an
put your
earthquake thing.
textbook on top of
hold
your
on.
head?
That was for tornadoes.
No, tornadoes, you went in the hall, put your textbook over your head, and put your butt up in the air.
We got under the desk in our middle school.
You probably wouldn't have survived.
We wouldn't have.
Glad they didn't
under
get
the
you.
desk. Yeah.
I would have gone to meet my maker with like my math book over my head. It would have been an
Yeah.
awful way to go.
Look at him protecting that patient.
They're holding on to him, and it's pretty amazing that they can control him. And if you watch the room, it's like the whole room slides around, but they kept him pretty still.
And wasn't it like a 7.1?
Yeah, it was a huge earthquake.
I
July
mean,
28th. That's when it was.
Aren't earthquakes somewhat
Whoa.
common? Maybe not this big,
Man.
but somewhat common in Japan. Don't they sit kind of right on a fault line or something?
I believe they are more
tectonic
common
plate.
there than they are.
Wouldn't you
Like in this
think
area.
maybe they would secure things on wheels, knowing that an earthquake could hit at any time?
Well, but the OR suites, they're made to be modular. So depending on what surgery you're going in, you've got different equipment, you've got different supplies
Okay,
coming in, and those are on rolly carts.
maybe put the brakes on then.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they obviously weren't expecting it. I think the funniest part of the story is the patient.
Yeah, has no clue
Wait,
what's
so-
going on.
I don't know if they were able to finish the operation, but either way, Mr. Jones or Mr.
I'm sure that was
Takarati,
his name. Yeah.
we have something to tell you. You survived an earthquake.
And our surgery.
Yeah.
But we may have left a surgical sponge. It got a little wild in there for a minute.
What if it was like one of those open heart surgeries where someone's got his heart in his hand?
Yeah.
And
Do they?
and then all
Do they
this
still
starts.
do
and
that?
he's-
Yeah.
I don't think it works that way
well,
anymore.
they do on
pump it-
TV. I don't know.
I just cannot imagine. First of all, living through an earthquake. You know,
Yeah.
I go back to
A lot of sharp objects.
what
in
year
that
was
room.
it? Was it 86, 87 when the big earthquake happened in San Francisco? Am I misdating that? You remember it was during I can remember watching it happened during a Giants baseball game.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I
like
don't remember
freeways
what
were
date it
collapsing.
was.
I mean, it was awful.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine just living through that, much less being in an OR. The patient could care less. He had no clue what was going on. But being a staff in there.
In 1984, there was a 6.3, and in 89, there was a 7.1.
89 is the one I was
That's the
thinking
same
of. Yeah.
size. One last thing about that video for me. You know how you notice how it started? I'm seeing this on YouTube videos now. It started with
Like
the
shit.
most extreme
Yeah.
part and then snapped back to the beginning.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yep.
They're doing that with books and TV shows and movies now.
Yeah.
You know, a movie will start in the middle of something. You'll see it's more shows. The very first thing you see is the most panicky, exciting part, and then they flash back and start
Give you
the
the
story.
backstory. Yeah.
And there's a term for that in writing, the ice monster prologue. It comes from Game of Thrones because in Game of Thrones, it starts with some kind of an ice monster or something that it'll come back to later.
Right.
But it's a way
It's got to hook you.
hook you and to get the reader to be more patient with you. And now we have to do that with 30-second
Yep.
videos. We're so impatient and our attention span is so short. And I just noticed that about that earthquake video. I've been seeing
Yeah.
that a lot on reels and stuff. They'll start with the
Yeah.
argument or the heated moment or the dramatic moment, and then they'll pop back.
Yeah,
the
it's
beginning.
it's got to be so in that was YouTube, but in YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikTok videos, whatever, there's a certain amount of time that somebody has to watch that video for it to be considered a view, and everything's driven by metrics, right? And that surely is what that is for, is to get you.
Don't call me Shirley.
Surely,
Do that all the time.
that's what that's for, is to get you over whatever that metric is.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that, but it's kind of the same thing.
Well, they're catching your attention and just trying to get you to stop for a moment. Then they show you the boring stuff.
Yeah,
But I know a book that's not that way.
we know a few books that aren't that way.
I just knew a book.
Oh, the Bible?
No. I mean, it's
God
one you
created
wrote.
the heavens.
I was giving you a
Oh, my
chance
book.
to throw this out in,
Well, I did put a prologue in my novel because of this concept,
but you don't.
but it's not.
You don't give you.
It's a bit of a tease, but it's a slow burn.
It's not like what you were just talking about,
Yeah.
though.
Mhm.
Out
well-
of the Thicket, available on Amazon or through Riddle Creek Publishing.
Also, pick up Burdens, short stories by Drew Kaiser.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, as we wrap up this section,
Yeah.
we have talked recently about some AI things.
It's an ongoing discussion.
I think last week we talked about the CEO of OpenAI, who is ChatGPT's parent company, saying that we had reached
The
the
singularity.
singularity. And so, I guess depending on what you're looking at, how you're using AI, because it can do some things, some amazing things. It can do some not great things. Maybe you could define that. I'm not sure everybody's beating down the door on that one saying, yeah, we've done it. That's one guy saying we've done it. But this week, Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Meta, who owns Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp and some others, put out I believe somebody printed this. It's a 14-page memo on, he called it The Path to a Positive AI Future. Because there's a lot of doom and gloom around AI. It's going to take jobs. It's going to become Skynet, which is where I feel like we're headed.
Yeah.
A little jokingly, but a little not.
Right.
And we're obviously, I mean, everybody settle in. We're going to start at the top and read this whole thing. But he's very verbose in here about how he views the future being for everyone. And he talks about how what he describes as super intelligence should be very democratic, available to everybody. People should be able to use it to enrich their lives, their jobs, make new products, find new cures and drugs and all the things. Basically, that it should be used for good. I mean, I think that's sort of, just obvious, right? It
shouldn't be controlled by just
and
a
it should
few
be controlled,
people.
right? Because in here he does talk about, supercomputers are often controlled by, a university, and only certain people can get access to them or whatever. He is positing here that super intelligence, AI, should be available to everyone, and that's what he's saying Meta is working on. They are working on giving people tools to do anything from make a reservation at a to get your hair cut or at a restaurant, to pay bills, to help you create a product that you can sell, and all this stuff. And if you read the whole thing, I mean, it's a little biased from someone who has a bazillions of dollars and can have anything he wants and is also making this stuff. But in the very beginning, I picked out a short little section of this that I thought we could read and then talk about, because I'm not so sure that maybe the future is as bright as he is putting here. And maybe it's not, Skynet and Terminator kind of thing either. It's going to be somewhere in the middle, but
Closer to Skynet.
But I have a feeling, and I'm being a little pessimistic. Like I'm in the camp of the rich are going to get richer, and the worker bees are going to be not able to do everything that this is promising. But here's the little snippet that I found. Where's my mouse? That I found sort of interesting. It says, and I'm quoting, "Still, it is surprising that the discourse from many developing AI is so filled with doom. I do not understand why anyone who believes that AI will eliminate most jobs and much of humanity's relevance would rush to build that future. The notion that AI is so dangerous that the only safe path is an extreme concentration of power seems inherently problematic. Historically, hoping that an absolute power will benevolently provide for humanity is sufficiently enlightened if sufficiently enlightened, has not led to safe or positive outcomes.
I like the fact that the guy who is responsible for the development of this stuff, right?
Right.
Is talking about historically hoping that an absolute power, I mean, he is kind of the absolute
is.
power. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, it goes back to what you were saying. Those that have power will do all they can to remain in power.
Yeah.
And I think there are a few people who understand the importance of what they're doing in developing AI. And that's where the doom and worry comes from.
Right.
Is that they have a responsibility in their development to be honest to the consumer and honest to themselves about the potential pitfalls of AI. Where this guy, to me, is saying, don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain.
Right.
Everyone's going to have this.
That's not the way. Well, yeah. I didn't read it exactly like that. I read it as an argument for more people having access to this, because if you concentrate it to just a few people, that historically has not gone
But
well.
who chooses who gets the access?
Well, he's saying
It's this guy.
let everybody have access.
But are
Yeah.
they going to put it out as a free service to all people? Because that's the
Well,
only way
no.
people get
Well,
access.
you also know
It's
what
not
a
gonna
free
be free.
service means.
Yeah.
You're the product.
That's exactly
You
right.
become the product.
Well, the
Like
part in
Facebook.
here, and I agree a little with you, Drew, and a little with you, Jason. The part in here that that sort of got me and actually caused me to read the rest of this, because otherwise it's kind of like drones on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably used AI to write this or help him write it. But he says, I do not understand why anyone who believes that AI will eliminate most jobs and much of humanity's relevance would rush to build that future.
No, I get that point. It's like, why? But we're also talking about mankind that developed the atom bomb.
Well, that's my point.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, you know why people are rushing to build a future? Money.
Yeah. Well, and they're trying
But-
to get the acclaim and the fortune and to be the first to get to this level, right?
Yeah.
He's talking about Elon Musk and Sam, what's his face with OpenAI?
Altman.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Altman. They are the doom and gloom prophets. And they are rushing to build what they say will destroy humanity.
And are they building it
But
out
then
of a benevolent standpoint of we're going to create this to make things easier for humankind, but here are the pitfalls? Or are they doing it just because they can? And I think there is some that is just because they can. I think Elon and folks like, what's the guy that's developing the, with Amazon that,
Jeff Bezos.
yeah,
Bezos.
I mean, they're competing against each other essentially. To me, they're doing it because they can do it. They have the intelligence, they have the money, they have the ability. And I think the ones that are talking doom and gloom are, it's almost like their conscience is making them come forward and say, this is going to be great, but it could also ruin the world.
But then you got the guy from NVIDIA that we went over
Yeah.
several weeks ago who said it's overhyped.
Yeah.
AI is not that dangerous.
Well,
And I feel like he truly believes that.
yeah. And I don't know that in its current form, it's that dangerous, but if the singularity is a real thing that can be reached, it's not truly theoretical. I think it could be, because if it sort of gains, big air quotes here, consciousness, right? And becomes one of these things that starts kind of running rampant and it takes over and you can't shut it down and all this. I mean, what kind of damage would that do? That's the doom and gloom that I'm not sure Sam Altman necessarily is preaching that, but you know, from the part of this, like who would rush to build it though? The cynical side of me comes back to the people who stand to make the most money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The other doom and gloom I see from AI is it's going to create, I mean, we already see it in schools. I'm sure you see it in writing. You see it in music. We're becoming dependent on its use, right?
Oh.
We're becoming, I mean, my goodness, if I go to the internet and want to search something, I'm not going to just your standard chat window or not chat, but Google window or search. What am I looking for? What's the word I'm looking for?
You don't go to standard search engine.
I'm going to engine. That's the word I was looking for. I'm going to AI now and
Well,
asking
even if you
questions.
go to Google, it's going to be
going to give you some
by default AI.
My
It'll be the
worry is
first-
what happens if the system eventually implodes on itself and you don't have AI? What skills, what things are we going to have lost because of our dependence? I mean, you can go on Spotify right now and go through and listen to music, and artists that you know are performing that you know. There's some of those, if you start getting out to the obscure ones, you do a deep dive on them and it's like, this is just an AI generated music.
There are a lot of AI bands now.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. And it takes talent to do that, but it does not take the same talent that it takes to sit down, learn an instrument, learn music theory, play, write, perform.
I read a thing, and I'm not sure if this is real, but it illustrates a little what you're saying. There's a college professor who assigns this. The story said he's assigned the same assignment to his first class of the semester or whatever every year for 40 years or whatever, however long he's been teaching. And it is something along the lines of find someone, interview them about some topic, and then write a paper, or story, an article, whatever it was, based on the interview. And then your citations are timestamps to the recording you made. And he said, basically his idea here is that is sort of AI proof, because you have to go record. Now you could, I guess, transcribe and have the AI write it for you. But he was, the story was saying students are freaking out about that because it's like actual work. It's not what you're saying where you just go type in a question or you talk to it. University of Michigan yesterday came out and said, for first semester freshmen, they basically won't show you any grades. You don't get a grade for the first semester for mental health issues, because is college too hard now? And Kinley, if you're listening, it better be hard. I am paying enough for it that. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I think that's part of the reason that schools, the state of Alabama banned where you can't have your cell phone in school, own you in school. I think part of that is because
they don't enforce it.
I think it's because it's a huge distraction. But kids were using AI to finish homework assignments. I mean, I've seen my kids do it. The one that graduated, not the one that's still in school. If anyone from the school is listening,
I think. Let me hold on. I was a little unfair to Kinley. She got a ton of scholarships. She's paying.
I was going to say she's already a second semester sophomore.
She's paying more for college than we're helping her with. But that was a joke. Anyway, one last thing on this.
Don't get her upset again.
I know.
I can't deal with Kinley on set being upset again.
One last thing on this, and we can move on because we're
going long.
We are way over time.
We said we weren't going to do it,
and we did it.
And we did.
The CEO of Anthropic, who is the owner of Claude. So ChatGPT is OpenAI, Claude is Anthropic, had some concerns that were leaked. They were reported as private concerns, but they were leaked. And the concern was basically people are coming to work for Anthropic for the large paychecks, not because they believed in the company's mission. Did someone just find out how jobs work? Because
was that all that stunning a revelation?
Right. And the interesting thing about that was in the article I read about that, they also reported that Anthropic had I forgot the exact title, but it was basically the person who plans company events like retreats, outings, conferences, things like that. It was like a $600,000 a year job to be
an activity planner.
Yeah, if I can, lower probably a little bit what was actually happening. A party planner, the party planning committee.
Look, it would take more than that to get me to plan parties and be around people.
Yeah, but would you go do that for $600,000 a year? Probably some stock options, and potentially not really so much care about the company's mission. I'm not saying you're going to go work for like the most evil company on the planet, but I mean, I don't even know what that is, but probably Crumble Cookie. But
I want to go back to something you said earlier.
Yeah.
So Michigan is not giving the first semester grades to students. Do they have grades? They're just not showing them?
I think it's pass or fail.
Let me get back to you on that in a second.
Pass or fail.
We're doomed.
Here we go. This is NPR. I guess we can treat this as authoritative. University of Michigan is trying a new approach to curb the mental health crisis.
Way too much inflection in the voice. It's got to be very low and quiet.
Oh yeah, for
NPR.
I don't know that I can do that. The University of Michigan is trying a new approach to curb the mental health crisis among college-age students, covering freshmen's letter grades during their first semester.
Wow. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. It just
So
hit me a
cover it.
minute ago.
So covering
Cover
it,
it.
so they're getting them,
but they're not seeing them.
starting fall of 2027. Students entering the College of Literature, Science, and the Arts will receive a pass or no credit mark on their transcripts for the first semester instead of traditional.
Oh, it's
letter
not
grades.
fail. It's no credit.
Yeah,
I got no credit.
What namby-pamby's in charge of Michigan?
Their actual grades will still be kept internally. So they do get a grade. They just won't be shown to the student.
It's basically you can't handle the truth. It's what they're saying.
You know, Zuckerberg, they've got another movie coming out about
yeah.
him. And I never watched the first one. What was it called? The Social
Network, I think.
Social Network. And I don't remember what the new one coming out's called. But I saw previews to it when I was
It's called The
watching
Social
the-
Reckoning.
Social Reckoning. It does not cast him in a favorable light.
No.
And I just found it very bold to put a movie out that challenges him and makes him look so bad in the middle of his career.
Yeah.
I just found that interesting.
Also, the
Gotta
guy
have some thick skin.
that plays Zuckerberg in that movie
Mm-hmm.
gives me the creeps, which actually probably
Is the
that's a
intention.
compliment. Makes like he's probably that is a compliment
Yeah.
because when I've watched the preview, I don't want to watch the movie. That guy is so creepy.
I don't.
And
think
is that
creepy.
how Zuckerberg actually is? I mean, we kind of know he might be a robot.
Yeah. He's a strange guy.
Yeah. So anyway, all right.
Well, let's take a little break here and come back with our passage. We need to leave a little time for what we gathered together here for. So we'll be back in just a minute with our passage.
Fast and furious, I start to doubt it. Typing messages but never sending. Come and get me when the world is ending. I can't imagine that I'd win a fight. I'm lighting cigarettes with dynamite. It's about to blow, let somebody know. It could be a show if I do it right. I'm feeling lonely when I talk about it. Fast and furious, I've always counted. Typing messages, I might be venting. My own ego being condescending.
Welcome back. It's time for our passage. This week's passage comes to us from Jerry Sittser. This is a quotation from a book called When God Doesn't Answer Your Prayer. And here's the quote. It is not what God does for us that demonstrates his greatest answer to prayer. It is what God does in us. God wants to change us to his liking, not to change the world to our liking. I think those two sentences, or however many there are very powerful in helping us overcome maybe the biggest obstacle to our prayer lives, which is this expectation of prayer changing God. Like we're going to change God's mind in this prayer.
We're going to convince him to do something for us.
We're going to manipulate him. I know that's not the term we'd use, but when we go to him with these requests, expecting them to be fulfilled exactly as we dictate them, that's what we're doing. We're trying to bribe him, manipulate him, plead with him, change his mind. And there's a big theological problem with that attitude, and that is that God doesn't change. God doesn't change. Malachi 3:6, I, the Lord, do not change. He's not a man. Somewhere in Numbers it says he's not a man that he would change his mind. He never lies. He's always faithful. He is infinite in all his attributes. I could go on and on and on about the immutability of God. So when we come to prayer with the attitude that, well, God wants it this way, and I'm not comfortable with this way, so I'm going to try to convince him in prayer to do it my way, we're not going to ever be satisfied in our prayer life. Prayer is more about changing us than it's about changing God. Now, I know there are objections to that, but I was going to...
In this room, probably not.
I don't think there's an objection to that.
Well, the objection is, haven't there been cases in the Bible, namely Moses and Hezekiah, where God changed his mind at their prayer?
But he may have changed, but that's not changing the essence of God. God has the right, the ability to change it. I mean, I think about when he tells Abraham, I'm going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, and basically Abraham starts negotiating with him.
Yeah.
If there are 50 people, okay, maybe not 50. How about 25? Okay, how about, and that's God. I don't know if I would say changing his mind or relenting or making a point.
I think it's more making a point.
And I
because
think,
maybe he would have never done anything unjust. I mean, there it says, will God not do what is just?
But in the example of Moses and Hezekiah, is that maybe God making a point there? Is he truly changing his mind?
I think here's my take on it. Moses felt this was after the golden calf incident.
Mm-hmm.
He felt discouraged. He quit believing in the people.
Mm-hmm.
He quit believing in himself.
Yeah.
And so God said, stand out of the way. I'm going to blot these people from the face of the earth. And then Moses, he starts thinking about the consequences of his quitting and dropping out and being discouraged. And he steps in, he says, no, don't do this. And in his prayer, he starts changing from that vacillating, I don't think I'm good enough, to this can still work.
Mm-hmm.
And God says, okay, now on the condition that you're still going to lead the people, which was my original plan to begin with,
yeah,
I'll relent from the disaster that I spelled out.
So my original plan didn't really change his mind. He
Didn't
just
change.
He got Moses to come around.
And God is always going to respond to our obedience,
mm-hmm.
our willingness. He gives us free will. So Moses, if he wanted to quit the people, okay, you can do that, but I'm not going to deliver them by your hand.
Yeah,
because I'm giving you the choice. Hezekiah, let me throw him in real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Hezekiah had a problem with pride.
Mm-hmm.
He gets sick. Then he turns his face to Isaiah sent to him, say, you got 15, what is it? No, you're going to die soon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what the time frame was. But he was on his deathbed. He turns his face to the wall, prays, and God gives him 15 more years of life. And it is said that God changed his mind. Well, he changed his mind only insofar that Hezekiah changed his heart in repentance so that God could favor him.
Is this kind of like, though, if the kid we talked about earlier had just sat in his seat, the plane wouldn't have gone back to the terminal? So if the kid doesn't sit in his seat, the plane goes back to the terminal, everybody's affected.
Mm-hmm.
If the kid sits in his seat, the plane doesn't go back to the terminal. That doesn't feel like he's, air quote, changing his mind. That feels like there are two eventualities, and
both of them have to do with the nature of safety. The plane is always safe.
Well, the consequence of the child behaving, the consequence of the child doing
so if the
what
child
he needed
makes
to
it
do
unsafe, then it's not going to take off.
That's
but
right.
if the child makes it safe, then it's going to take off.
And in this case, Moses had two paths he could go down. He could, I think you said, quit the people, or he could
Lead.
He could stand up and lead. And there were two consequences to those two choices, or one consequence.
Two
for
outcomes.
two outcomes. Yeah. It's a consequence either way.
Yeah.
One's just positive and one's not.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like that's him changing his mind. I think that's him saying, okay, you chose this outcome. You chose, this door number 2 or whatever. So let's find out what's behind it.
Well, and the text does say, and some translations differ, but the text does say that the Lord changed his mind and relented from the disaster.
ESV uses relented in Exodus.
But it's anthropomorphism, maybe. And I think it's the same way. We say the sun rises and the sun sets, but the earth is what's moving. It just appears that way. And, we're at a different place in relation to the sun. So the sun hasn't changed its brightness, its warmth. It's the same temperature. It's in the same location.
Until it explodes.
With respect to our solar system. And the earth is moving around.
Right.
And we're like the earth in that scenario. When we pray, we're moving either away from God or toward God. We may be moving around to his side of wrath that is always there. Or we may be making our way over to his side of mercy, which is also always there. It's just where we are in relation to God. And prayer is the mechanism that moves us from one place to another in our relationship with him.
I do think it's interesting in the King James Version, the Exodus one, instead of relented, it says repented.
Yeah.
And more specifically, repented of the evil, which he thought to do unto his people. And I'm guessing evil there is not truly evil.
Not
it's
moral evil.
It's just the disaster he was going to.
And all that means is he turned away from it. I mean,
doesn't mean he changed his mind.
Like you said, there were two consequences depending on, because Moses had free choice there.
Just choose your own adventure.
I like the contrast in both sentences up here. You see the idea of surrender versus pride of man, right? So it's what God does in us. That's his answer to prayers is what God does in us, and he's changing the world, or he's changing us to his liking. That's surrendering to God, right? That's turning yourself to his will and saying, it's not what I want, it's what you want. I'm here to serve you. I'm here to worship you. Your creator, your Lord, your sovereign, you're eternal. I'm mortal. I'm man. I'm flawed. I make bad decisions. So I'm going to turn with what is true, what is a constant, and that's your goodness. Where when we pray and we're asking for God to do specific things for us that, kind of like it says in the second sentence, that are trying to change the world to our liking, that's a prideful thing, right? We're putting ourselves in the place of God. We're saying, I know this may not be kind of the direction your will wants us to go, but I really need you to do me a solid here. I need you to help me with this job. I need you to help me with my finances. I need you to get me out of the, so often we pray, it's the ripcord prayer, I need you to get me out of this situation. If you'll get me out of this situation, I'll do anything you want me to do. I'll change. And instead your prayer should be changing you and keeping you from getting in those situations. I just think it's a contrast between surrender and pride.
Yeah.
I think you could conceivably change that God wants to change us to his liking, and God wants us to change to his liking could also be true here. I mean, I know God's affecting the change, but if we make the decision to come around on that, then it is us changing, not, I don't know. It's a little, just thinking about, I don't even know what I'm trying to say at this point.
Yeah, I think you're saying that we have to put some effort into the change.
And if you move,
that's how he operates, through prayer. He reveals himself, and through his silence, even in unanswered prayer, which there's no such thing as unanswered prayer. But when we don't hear him, we don't feel like he's responding. We sit in that silence. We listen. We meditate. We think more about our actions, our attitudes, and realize how far away we are from him. Hopefully, we'll come closer. And that's how he changes us. And, the Bible has a way of attributing everything to God because he is sovereign
it is
and
all
ultimately in
attributed.
control.
Yeah.
So in his permissive will, he allows this. So there's a role we play in it, but there's a role he plays in it as well.
You just said something that made me think of a passage we did before video a long time ago. And part of that was, I believe in God even when he is silent.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we say a lot of times that there's yes, no, or not right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I guess technically any of those three answers to a prayer could just be silence.
Mm-hmm.
And you get one of the three.
Or how about something better is a fourth answer.
True.
I think sometimes we just have a misconception of what prayer is.
Yeah.
Like you go and you read through the Psalms, which is a book of hymns and prayers, right? And there's not a lot of really selfish prayers in there. Now there's some that are prayers of, David prays, I'm in trouble, help me. But I don't think that's necessarily I'm praying for an object or I'm praying for something.
Yeah. If he asks
tangible.
for anything, it's for the death of his enemies.
Yeah, he's essentially praying for salvation from the situation he's in. But so many of the prayers, there are some of them where David is just mad at God or hurt, crying out to God. And I don't know, maybe it's the way we're taught when we're young sometimes and how we're praying. You take a child and you're teaching them to pray. Sometimes we teach them, to pray for those kind of tangible earthly things instead of just teaching them that, hey, this is a time where you're talking to God. And this can be, you can be hurt, you can be mad, you can be happy. It doesn't have to follow this, thank you for our food, bless me with this, bless me with that. And it's more about, hey, God, thank you for creating me. You're almighty. All things are in your hands. Help me to follow your will. It's, I think I just think back to when I was a kid, the way we were taught to pray. A lot of it was you're listing these things.
Yeah. And I don't think the problem's so much with the original teaching as it is with us not growing that into more mature prayers.
That's probably it.
On down the road. Because kids, how are they going to pray like David when they're 2 or 3 years old?
Well, they're not, but I just think we set them up to learn that pattern.
Yeah.
We're asking, we're not conversing, we're not.
By the time kids get in high school, we need to be growing them out of that laundry list of here's what I want into, Lord, make me more like you.
Hey, as mature as kids are now by middle school.
True.
You think,
what they're facing at that age.
Yeah. At that point of, I think it comes down to when you're convicted to turn your life and turn yourself over into submitting to God, that's when that prayer life really, truly begins. It can begin before, but I do have to take exception with one thing you said. Garth Brooks disagrees with you about unanswered prayers. I remember this song.
I stand corrected.
Where he's thankful for unanswered prayers. So I don't know if I can stand behind that comment. He does.
I'm okay with him being thankful with unanswered prayers because I think we should be thankful for. I like to refer to the silence of God.
I was just being humorous.
And
now you're making a point out of it.
Well,
man.
I'm going to be lecturing on my book, Sufficient Grace, this weekend. That's why I wanted to talk about this tonight. I'm just trying to remember.
Where are you lecturing?
At Polish in the Pulpit in Sevierville. And they gave me the opportunity to do 2 lectures on the book. And wow, summarizing down what I want to say out of that whole book in 2 sessions, that was difficult. But this comes into, people with chronic illness have obviously prayed, and people of faith pray fervently to be healed. And if it's a chronic illness or an incurable disease, they don't get the answer they're looking for at first. And, in my life, my prayers had to grow from give me healing, which wasn't going to come, to give me the strength that I gained through weakness, like Paul did in 2 Corinthians 12, and make me more like you through this, and use this to discipline me and shape me and mold me. And so that's where this fits in my life right now. Is I'm got these thoughts that I'm trying to gather together in preparation for this weekend.
What an awesome opportunity for you to get to share that book like that.
That's
really
I really
cool.
appreciate the opportunity to do it, because it's something important to me, and nothing that I've written has ever attracted that much attention. I'd really like for people to read my novels and stuff, but what they really want are these thoughts.
Yeah.
This is what they're struggling with.
Are you doing 2 sessions that are the same thing, or is it like part 1, part 2?
It's part 1, part 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Good.
not going to repeat the second
good.
one.
Yeah.
And then, so
I hope you're taking, 2 or 3 books with you just in case.
I'm going to take a few. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
I'd take a box.
Yeah.
Or 4.
There may be a box involved.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate everybody joining us this week. Our hearts are broken that this desk over here is empty 2 weeks in a row. School started back, so all our JV team, most of the JV team is
Better be home with
in
sleep.
bed. Yeah.
And the one of the JV team that is working man now, he's
He's
definitely
getting up
bed.
in a few hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's been in
Taylor.
bed for a couple hours.
But we got to get our man Tim back. I think I know for a fact he won't be back next week.
I heard that.
We got to see if Nathan coaxes Nathan. Nathan thought he was going to get the night off, and I told him that Tim's not here.
He got the night off. I think Nathan is ducking us, though. I don't think
He is.
he really wants to be here, because it's such a ripping the Band-Aid off to get him to come in here.
But I tell him that how he's
Yeah.
so good at it. He's born for this.
Yeah.
So maybe we can get him to come back next week. We'll see what we can do.
I'm gonna extinguish Tim's light.
Yes. Save it for next week.
We try again.
Oh, there's some wax that flew through the air.
That was an aggressive
man.
one there. I'll
No,
clean that
didn't
up.
get into the carpet. We'll never get that out.
Yeah, this carpet's been in this building for about 40 years, so it's a be all right.
Yeah, true. Well, we'll see. We don't know who will be at the desk here, but it'll be somebody special. I can guarantee you that. So stay tuned. There's more to come on Passages.